boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh. Not gonna lie, a little nervous about this one today. Not really some, like, I didn't think when I was going to college that the first thing I would be doing, or rather something I'd be looking forward to doing, is talking about random tweets on the internet. Like, I couldn't think of a day where that is the actual case, you know? But anyways, oh, hit my desk. First week, I guess? First day? I don't know. How do we say this? First time doing one of these, too long didn't weeks. Now, basically the idea for this show is very fucking simple. Now, the idea for this show is very simple. I will try not to guess. Asking a Yorkshireman to do that is kind of hard. But anyways, the idea for this show is quite simple. You ever notice, like, every sort of channel that sort of covers news topics is always so negative? Like, it's always talking about drama or something that is, like, usually quite depressing. Well, here's the thing. Here's the entire point of this little whatever I'm calling this. The idea is very simple. I just want to talk about stuff that's going to be quite light-hearted and not too depressing, just to sort of cheer people up. Because at the end of the day, I understand that drama is sort of always going to be kingpin of the algorithm, but there's sort of like that. There sort of needs to be that yin to yang, if you know what I mean. There has to be sort of like a counterpoint to where people just have a bit of fun, lighthearted yapper about something or another. And I figured, hey, I use Twitter enough, I might as well try and make it so it's like affecting my YouTube in some way, shape or form. This is how I'm going to do it. By talking about random stuff I found on Twitter, one of the most depressing sites to be even associated with. Now, we'll be diving into drama topics sometimes. For example, we're going to have to talk about, like, for today I actually want to talk about, today I actually want to talk about things like, what do I want to talk about? Saving games? So, I forgot what it's called. I have it on the docket too. Hold up. Save games? What's it called? Save all games or something like that. It's on the docket somewhere. Hold up. Stop killing games, that's it. Stop killing games. And that naturally, that will have that'll have some points to do with drama, because it's actually kind of funny about that one. I want to talk about it because it's got so much drama, but we forget that the actual overall positivity of what that actual movement is about. So that's kind of where we have to sort of dip into drama, but I don't want to, but we kind of have to. So it's going to be sort of like that, where I just talk about whatever the heck has been on my mind for a week. Why not do it daily? I don't want to do it daily. I want to do it every week. So I say, let's actually give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Let's jump into the first thing we have on the docket, which is, oddly enough, going to be talking about Wario 64. Which is another one to start off with. Hold up. Transition. Now, technically it's not talking about Wario 64, it is talking about Bandai's Summer Showcase schedule for January 2nd. Now, this happened in January 2nd. I'm just going to say it. This event sucked. This absolutely, it actually tanked. Not so much actually was shown that wasn't on this list. Everything actually on this list was shown. A lot of it was actually quite interesting, I'm not gonna lie. But it kind of sucked because it's kind of one of these weird things where it showed absolutely nothing, but at the same time, it showed us a lot, but it showed absolutely nothing. Now, what was interesting was Code Vein. Code Vein was pretty interesting. Never thought Code Vein was getting a sequel. Like, it's one of these games that's kind of not well. It's got a cult following, but it's not well loved. Like, it's a great game, but it's not well loved at all. Like, it's an interesting title. The idea of an anime like Souls like is kind of interesting, but at the same time, it's a bit. It can be a bit weird at some points, if I remember correctly. Or at least the last part was definitely confusing and convoluted. But no, Code Vein. What do we have for Code Vein? Stop killing games. This was the status for Code Vein. I could do this pretty well in regular rehearsals. I guess you call it rehearsals. This is not that. That is the wrong one. We'll talk about that later because that's my hero. But apparently we will be talking about Code Vein. Hold up. Let's get a quick look at where these Code Veins are. Actually, I should probably put this in starting. I will quickly just do that. Code Vein. Alright, Code Vein. It's gonna be more for background purposes more than anything. Okay. Now, again, Code Vein, I absolutely love this sort of like aesthetics. I love the fact that they haven't changed that much. I absolutely love the fact that it's actually coming back. Because quite frankly, it's one of these games that is actually quite underrated in some regard. Like, I will say that I have some issues with it. Like, it can be quite nebulous. It can be convoluted in the way it acts. And the art style does look a bit weird. I will admit that. The art style does look a bit on the janky side. But I am very happy that it's coming back, just for the sheer fact that if you look at it, it does look a lot like... It just looks gorgeous in some cases. Like, it looks weird, but it does look sort of something that is quite... I mean, it's rendering quite... The faces just look weird. The faces look weird. I think we can all admit the faces look weird, but don't really want to do a close-up, mate. But either way, it's going to be quite interesting because the way the game ended, not to spoil it, but basically the way it ended was it had 3 separate endings. Now, I want to know how the heck you can actually like incorporate those 3 separate endings into a game, a sequel. It's always sort of like a big question on how they're going to do that, but nah, this one, it seems like I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. If you look at the gameplay, yeah, the gameplay looks pretty much like it seems to be sort of like expanding on what you can and can't do. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. Personally, I think I've already said that quite a few times. Don't you think I've said that a few times? I think I've said that quite a few times. This one is just weird. Now, I am looking forward to it, but for a different reason. What's it called? Please don't, it's in Japanese. Super something robot. Super robot Y. Now, I'm more interested in this because I saw Code Geass in this game, and I am quite curious to know what this is even about. By the looks of it, it just looks like they're just unifying sort of like mecha animes and putting one big sort of mega series of it. But it's an interesting concept. If I'm not gonna lie, it's quite interesting because I mean, think about it for a few seconds. All mecha animes basically go off very similar principles. You have a massive robot. Let's beat each other up with it. Like, it's not a complex or like it's not a hard thing to sort of see, you know, multiple robots attacking each other. So from the idea and standpoint, it looks really quite interesting. However, it's an interesting concept. All of these, these are all the franchises then. Let's see. Hello, Kyla. So, I don't recognize any of them. I don't even see if can I even see. Can I? Yeah, okay. There's Code Geass. I see Code Geass. And yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it, just for the sheer fact that it's a relatively interesting sort of concept, and I hope they make it just nice. I just hope they make it good, because essentially it's nice to sort. I always like big Smash Brothers collabs. It's always sort of nice to see acknowledgement within their own genres, regardless of whether they like can coexist. It's not about that. It's about finally seeing what would actually happen if they did exist in the same universe. It's quite an interesting. It's an interesting concept for me, because I absolutely adore Code Geass. Something about the villains that always make it very interesting. Like if you got a hero, the traditional hero archetype, it's kind of just dull and boring. But no. Next off is we'll be talking about good old-fashioned My Hero Academia. One's Justice for All. Oh lord, turn that down. But no. Okay. Now, I'm gonna be honest here. I am a massive fighting game fan. I love fighting games. Fighting games are my favorite genre. They are absolutely my favorite genre. I absolutely hate arena fighters. But when I saw this, let's just skip on ahead. This sort of combat, it looks, I don't want to say this because it's the best arena fighter that's ever been made. It looked a lot like Kill la Kill If. I'm sorry, Kill la Kill If is arguably one of the best arena fighters that's ever existed, but if you look like, it does look like there's some structure here. There is some genuine, there is some structure here. It looks like, if anything, it's gonna look really good. I'm looking forward to it. It's an arena fight. I could never really understand why, but I'm overly hyped for this. I don't know why. I don't know how this happened, but I'm actually hyped for an arena fighter, and it's just such an interesting concept that I don't know. I'm strangely looking forward to it. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I might be learning an arena fighter. That could be an interesting series of streams right there. Learning an arena fighter, even though you personally despise arena fighters. But no, I'm genuinely looking forward to this. I don't even know why. I genuinely do not understand why. What else do we have here? Okay, so Super Mech Robots. Death Note. No movie here. I have to kind of. There is a movie here. So, this was showed off during the Bandai Namco thing, and I gotta admit, please tell me this is not the actual trailer for the actual game. This is the actual trailer for the actual game. Killer Within. Hashtag Killer Within. Okay, so this was shown off on the event, and it's basically what the new role is, because I don't really care about the new Premier Avatar. I don't really care about the Premier Avatar. The new role is really interesting. Now, I don't understand it completely, but the idea is actually something that's been found in the modded version of Among Us, where you have more than one killer. It's such a weird thing. If you see modded versions of Among Us, there is actually there's actually more than one role that can. What happened to my microphone? It's been peaking. I'll keep it consistent at the very least. But no, if you look at sort of Among Us, there is a modded Among Us where they have actively made more than one killer. And it is such an interesting dynamic when you have multiple killers in the same game. It's a sort of unusual dynamic that you don't really get to understand unless you play the game. The basic idea is if a killer can kill the killers, then essentially, how do I put this? A killer can kill the killers, but the killers can also kill the killer. Let's not go into complex algebra here. Let my brain settle. So, if a killer kills... We got a killer named Jeff, and we got a killer named Steve. They are both killers, but they kill for different purposes. Steve kills for red team. I've forgotten the other guy's name. Jeff, we'll call him Jeff, kills for orange team. That's too close to red. Purple team, I don't know. But the basic idea is those two killers can kill each other, but they can also kill the crew. And it's an interesting dynamic where a killer can always kill another killer, and vice versa. It's such a weird dynamic that you don't really see in many games. The idea of this new role is very similar to that idea found in modded Among Us, where the role is mellow. If I remember correctly, there are two roles in Death Note Killer Within. The first is Kira. The second is what's the second one? The second one is the detective force. The third one is L, who is part of the detective force. Now they're introducing what's known as Mello, which is an independent individual who's also trying to catch Kira, but they win the game. I'm guessing this one because I don't actually understand what happened on the trailer, but they're introducing a new role that's independent from the task force, but is also hunting down Kira. And I absolutely like that dynamic, where the point of the character is just pure anarchy, and they're just designed to cause chaos and misdirection. I absolutely love that role. I love that idea that they're out to win themselves by any means necessary. I absolutely love that, and I really want to buy this game now, just for the sheer fact they've added a very interesting dynamic. It's a very interesting dynamic indeed. Oh, everyone's golf. I don't really want to talk about this though, because we've been yapping for 24 minutes. Well, actually, no, we've been yapping for how long? We've been yapping for about, I don't know. We've been yapping for a bit of a while. The only interesting thing about this one is Pac-Man's in this game. Like, Pac-Man is in everyone's golf. Like, do we really need to sort of...
I've got this!
Like, is Pac-Man in this trailer? Pac-Man isn't even in this trailer. Pac-Man is not in the trailer. He deserves that. Anyways, that's basically all that really happened during the that's all that really happened during the what was it called? What's it called? The Namco Bandai Summer Games Fest, I guess it was called Summer Games Fest. I don't actually know. What's it called again? Yeah, Summer Showcase, sorry. Yeah, I knew that all along. We knew that all along. But it wasn't good, it wasn't bad. It was just right. It was the perfect Goldilocks soup. It was fine. It wasn't as offensive as the Arc System one, but it did fine. I then will have to talk about this because I am contractually obligated to, being what I am, about the Hoyo Village. Yes, I am contractually obligated to talk about this game. It looks cute. It looks absolutely adorable. It's adorable. It's cute. It's very cute. Do I need to say any more? Then it has Gada. Everyone's got Gada. Gada. But it looks fun. I'm not gonna lie, it does actually look kind of fun. I'm a big big simp for farming simulators. I actually kind of am, because farming, I absolutely love farming simulators. Like, there's something chill and relaxing, and the fact that this is going to be multiplayer, so well, it looks to be multiplayer. If it isn't, this is a very misleading trailer, and I want my money back once it comes from a release. But no, it looks fun. It looks fine. It looks like a great waste of time, but that's all that gaming is at the end of the day. So, Code Vein. Oh, I actually did find the stuff involving Code Vein. We've already talked about Code Vein. I don't really want to talk more about it. This is Street Fighter. Let's have a fucking butchers. Let's have a butchers at this. This is an interesting article. I really want to just talk about this for a few seconds. Resident Evil Requiem director revealed that Resident Evil 9 used to be an open world co-op shooter similar to that of Resident Evil 6, but they cancelled it and restarted development. We realised it wasn't going to be what fans wanted to see or play, so we wanted to go back to the drawing board. Now, I am quite disappointed by this. It's such a very weird thing to be disappointed about, but I am. Not because Resident Evil 6 was a good game. It's because I like the idea of an open world Resident Evil game. Resident Evil 6 was not open world. Resident Evil 6 was it was stage by stage. You went through stages rather than an open world. I like the idea of an open world Resident Evil. It doesn't even need to be the mainline series, but it would be nice to sort of like see what the heck was going on with this idea, because it's a simple idea, but I would have loved to see. I just would have loved to see this been paid off. I'm not gonna lie, like it would have been really interesting to see what would have been the idea for this game, because at the end of the day, I'm all for open world co-op games. Like, I absolutely love that particular genre, but I'd want to know how it's going to be a co-op shooter when it's open world, because drop out co-op is one of these game like ideas that has always been sort of, it's always been there kind of, but it's not really there. The closest I can think of that does it really well is Genshin Impact, and I can't believe I'm saying that about Genshin Impact, but it does do that really well, because essentially all that Genshin does is say, hey, join the world, grind for a bit, we gain experience, beat up a few bosses, chill out for a bit, and maybe play a card game here and there. Who knows? There hasn't really been a AAA development for a horror triple. There has been a couple. There hasn't really been. I don't actually know what I'm trying to say, because I know I'm actually thinking about it. There are a few that I can think of. The first one I can think of is, off the top of my head, is Dead Island? Dead Island, maybe. That was a horror open world experience. I don't know, I just think it would be nice to sort of like see this idea. But then again, would it? Like, they've already got, like, Resident Evil 6 was not that good. I don't know, Resident Evil 6 was fine in Leon's campaign. Leon's campaign was pretty good. Ada's campaign was pretty good. Everyone else was kind of weird. When you say Genshin, when you say that, before Genshin there was Skylanders. Skylanders? Are we thinking of the same? Are we thinking of Disney style Skylanders or something like that? Because I'm trying to remember what Skylanders did. I have a web page where I'm keeping all of my documents. Skylanders. Sky Leaders. Ah, we're definitely thinking of different games. Ladders? Sky leaders. Okay, why isn't Google? Google, please. Search with Google. Sky leaders. What's the scam? Oh, it was not the games I was thinking of, but it was similar to what I was thinking of. The one with Spyro. Yeah, that I just saw his massive face pop up. But there is one caveat for this. Like, I would love to see a Resident Evil that would be open world, shooter, drop in, drop out co-op, something like that. I don't know. But we have this coming up, and I'm genuinely quite hyped for this game. I genuinely am quite hyped. Go away, Code Vein. Why am I pouting now? So, I am genuinely a big fanboy for this game. I absolutely love this. NTE, never to end to everness. I am looking forward to this game, and I'm salty that you know what? I will pout. I am salty I did not get a single invite for this game. I really wanted one. It was gonna make my week. I was actually gonna stream something very much in gameplay material. Instead, I am now making a weird chat program talking about people who actually got the game. And it's not fair, it's not right, I should have been part of that bunch. Now we're just going to have a look at footage of this, because it does look incredible. Anyways, that's enough pouting. But I'm not going to lie, alright, I've been looking for a game like this. This is the same tweet. This is, like, I've been looking for a game like this for donkeys. This game looks insane. I don't know why China has this obsession. Is it China? I think it's China. I think it's China. Has this obsession with gacha games, but like an open world GTA. I genuinely have been looking forward to this for ever since I heard about it. Ever since I heard about this game, I've been genuinely looking forward to this game. The gameplay by itself, it looks like this is... I don't want to hear the music. Well, the music's fine. This, like, just look at this. Not final quality, yes, so it's not... I mean, it's very pretty for a game for the mobile phone. I don't understand why Japan has this... sorry. I don't understand why China has this obsession with mobile gamers looking this good. I'd rather my phone not be on fire, thank you very much. My PC will have issues running this. I don't know about my phone. My phone, completely different story. But, on the other hand, this looks fire. I'm sorry, but this might be like the only gacha game I am going to be playing. I will actually spend money on this gacha game, and I cannot believe I'm saying that. The only gacha game I will... This is the same tweet. The only real gacha game I will spend money on is Master Duel, and that's not even... I don't even think that's a wise investment. Like, hold up. Like, traffic jams. Traffic jams. I'm simping for traffic jams. Can you believe this? A game which is making me simp for traffic jams. I can't even find the gameplay footage. What game? Where's the gameplay footage? Is the gameplay footage? I also don't want to search up this game because I don't want to search up this game just for the sheer fact that it's a gacha game with very pretty ladies. I gotta admit the music is quite jamming, but I don't want to play it for copyright reasons. Oh, it's even giving you a code to where this location's at. But no, this game just looks beautiful. For a game that might, by the sounds of it, is just free to play and a gacha. Very pretty, very much what I'm looking forward to. I cannot wait for this game. 10 out of 10 would try again. Pretty Ladies, I'm sold. Yeah, Zeb, you're yeah, you're definitely sold on that one. You'll buy anything involving Pretty Ladies. What was your thing? Guns? Your entire one of your Josh 2 games was about guns. Either way, I'm just looking forward to this. Look at the physics. Don't look at the physics. Not like that. Not like that at all. Like, I'm talking about the actual, the petals, the roses, the flowers. Look at the flowers. I didn't even see this part. What the heck's going on here? Like, just look how smooth this is. Smooth. I'm enjoying. I'm gonna look forward to this. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, Rivals. We'll talk about that a little later because I have an entire section based on Rivals. I also have, the game looks great. I agree. I concur. I will say the most British thing I can think of. Concur. Also, by the way, I do want to point this out, right? It took me about a week of figuring out, well, okay, about, not a week, but I want to be proud of this. What happened? Wrong one. I'm proud of this. I got you in a sphere. You lot are all in a sphere. You're in the circle, sorry. You're officially in a circle. That is oddly specific, but point is, I'm proud of myself of making this chat in a circle. You cannot leave the circle. You have to stay in the circle. Where's my smug emote? Nah. But back to the topic of hand. What were we talking about? What were we talking about? Watch you. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Faz. Next is Faz. So Faz, I've already sent this to Zap. This is not Faz. Faz is updating. Fishbowl. I wouldn't call you a fishbowl. Fishbowl. Anyways, Faz. So 20 million copies. I cannot believe an early access game has actually sold 25 million copies. Because this is still an early access if I remember correctly. Like, that alone is like quite incredible that an early access game has actually like sold 25 million copies. That is quite impressive. Like, what is this? New recordings, new videos, CCTV update, photo system, and more. Yeah, the Chronicles. It looks fine. I don't know what it's about. It does look big. It does look expansive. Expansive? That even a word? Expansive. Expensive. It's Phasmophobia. It looks fine. It's gonna be fine. Next off, I have. What are we talking about? What are we talking here? Do we do the Marvel stuff? Because I find it very interesting. I find Marvel very interesting. I do find this Marvel article interesting. Please tell me it's the right article. Well, we'll start with this one. Season 3 Battle Pass. Power of Phoenix. Emma Storm Phoenix. That's not what I was interested in. That's not what the one I was interested in. But it's an interesting thing. It is interesting. Where is the article? Here it is. I was talking to Brie about this the other day. Now, Marvel Rivals will never run out of characters. Okay? Marvel Rival will never run out of characters. Marvel game director confirms that they are licensed to turn any characters of the past 85 years of Marvel Comics into playable heroes. Teams will not be focused on heavy hitters, but will continue to shine lights on lesser known yet quality fantastical characters too. Now, I find that interesting. Like, I find that really interesting. So I saw the reply to this Overwatch can also do this too. They just make up a new character. That's not what's interesting about this entire theory, like not theory, statement, if you will. 85 years of characters basically gives them a license to basically make whom or whatever they want into the game. And that's interesting because something like that already has a built-in fan base and an IP to always go back into. So for example, we take Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is a well-known IP and quite frankly much bigger than any Overwatch character could make. Like, Overwatch is a big game, but the IP that brings alongside things like Ghost Rider's like entire stories, like any character from Ghost Rider is technically available then. So alongside the IP, sorry, I just noticed still model was moving up and down. But alongside the IP, you get yourself a license to sort of like give the familiarity, if you will, like the idea of the familiar. You bring along the fan base alongside the IP itself, if that makes sense. Because you're not only just dealing with Ghost Rider, you got like Fantastic Four, but then you got Fantastic Four had the Silver Surfer. Like, you get into this point where you're getting bigger names from bigger names involved, and it's actually a really interesting marketing thing. Like, I quite like the fact that they're not focusing just on the heavy hitters. They're going to bring sort of lesser known characters involved, but the fact is, like, I like the fact that they have a license to basically do whatever the heck they want. Bit of freedom. Bit of freedom. Now, before we get to something depressing, we have two last fins. Well, this is quite depressing by itself, but I want to share the funniest game story I found today. School Days is getting remastered. I never thought in my days they can pump out as fast. I'm gonna go back one. You go pretend you didn't see that. They can pump out characters much faster since they already have all the design and lore figures. Exactly. It's not exactly perfect, but they have got like this sort of. They have got a license to just basically do whatever the heck they want with the characters that are already loved in media. Anyways, School Days is getting a remaster, and this is one of the weirdest stories I've ever heard. Who was ever asking for a School Days remaster? Who has ever heard of this? Like, first off, it's being done by it's going to be done for Windows 11. Who actually asked for this? It's one of those things where we already know that the game is going to be weird, and like, the game is already weird. Who asked for? And the fact of the matter is, this was not the announcement. This was the third announcement of 3, but School Days is getting remastered. In the age of remastery, I didn't think we'll be getting a School Days remastery. Like, I don't want to even look down and sort of the other replies to this. The fact of the matter is, this is weird enough as is. This is weird. School Days is getting remastered. That is a game I wish was dead, but I'm gonna guess boat prices are going to increase. Someone's going to lose their head over this. I will come up with these random puns. Yeah, I got nothing else. I got nothing else. Now we're going to get into the slightly depressing story. But I do want to talk about it because I think we're all missing the point of this story. We're all missing the point. Now, over the last year or so, I don't know, 10 months, a year or so, there's been an initiative called Stop Killing Games. Now, the reason why I talk about it is because I don't want to talk about the pirate software stuff. Quite frankly, that's not the point of Stop Killing Games, and I kind of think misses the point of Stop Killing Games. Everyone goes immediately when they think of Stop Killing Games to Pirate Software. No, the point of the movement should be the figurehead of the movement should actually be Ross Scott, aka Accursed Farms, right? Personally, I think yes. Please tell me that's talking about Stop Killing Games and not School Days. Like, yeah, that yes. Anyways, Stop Killing Games. The issue that I have with everyone, they seem to sort of think about the idea that Pirate Software is synonymous with Stop Killing Games. It's not. It should be Accursed Farms and Ross Scott. Now, I'll first talk about what the heck is Stop Killing Games. I don't want to talk really too much in depth for it. I'm an idiot. Alright, I'm a moron. I'm an absolute idiot. So I do actually have some notes here. The idea of Stop Killing Games is a campaign started by YouTuber Ross Scott to protect games from being shut down forever. It's a fight against companies making games unplayable after they take them offline, even for players who paid for them. The goal was to make sure that games stay playable, either by avoiding offline modes or letting fans run private servers, so players will no longer lose access to what they bought. Now, in the age of where we're playing things like Genshin Impact, where we're actually playing games like NTE, where games might eventually go offline, I'm thinking more games like Master Duel, where people have literally... this weekend, I literally saw somebody spend 100,000 gems. That's $2,000 on a game with digital cards. Now, if that game ever got offline, the person has officially lost $2,000. $2,000 has been lost if that game ever goes offline. Now, this is a gotcha game. Master Duel is a gotcha game. But the point is, we kind of always focus on the Pirate Software drama. We're not focusing on the guy behind it, which is actually Accursed Farm. Like, Accursed Farm did a lot of this work, and he's sort of been like overshadowed by the dramas surrounding Pirate Software. And it's kind of a shame, because he made a solid argument, he made a solid point. I don't fully understand it. The main goal is just to give offline mode. The actions that have been taken are legal. It's like if you buy a Persona and they can't kill the servers if you play offline. Yeah, exactly. It's like, there's so many of these games that are officially live service games and will eventually die off. Eventually, a company will lose interest in funding it. Gotcha games are less likely to happen because, I mean, let's face it, every single gotcha game I know of has still got service. But there are games like City of Heroes, if I remember correctly. City of Heroes was a game back in... What was it? City of Heroes. It was an old game. Hold on, let's see if I can get it up. City of Heroes. It was one of these games that I'm gonna guess not many people know about. Hold up. It was a game that not many people, I'm gonna guess, know about, but the idea was pretty simple. You make a hero, and you go around either choosing to be a savior or a villain. Like, it was an MMO. It's an MMO where you play around as either a hero or villain. They actually that's the point of the game. But you can also see, like, just look how creative you could get with your heroes. I know for a fact that a lot of people got really creative creative with the particular heroes that they created, and the server just sort of went offline. I don't actually know what happened to it, but I do know it was one of these servers that just went offline. And all the characters' progress, all your sort of things that you made, MMOs might be hard to make offline. Yeah, that's the sort of thing. But it's sort of the idea that you have the option to. I'm not saying that this is perfect, but it's sort of like, no one's saying this is going to be like the idea of making a private server like this person's talking about, where fans can just go ahead and just chill for a bit. Like, I don't know, that's sort of interesting idea. Like, I don't know, like, you don't need to sort of go hand in hand with it. I know for a fact that RuneScape had a history of offline servers that was managed by individual parties, like third parties, to the point where the people who made RuneScape actually wanted to buy out one of the private software, private developers. I think the developers, to make sure that they made it official. I can't remember the full drama behind it, but basically the idea was they were doing such a good job doing it that they made the private server more akin to. I think they just bought it out and just made it so that you could run classic RuneScape on it. Like, I don't actually remember the story, but the idea was there was a bunch of competitions for these private servers. The servers were no longer going to be functioned. People were worried that they were going to be doing some sort of item modding, but no. They then just bought all the servers and just made it so you could play classic RuneScape. I don't remember. Point is, it's sort of that initiative being able to make your own private server and having it supported by the developers. Kind of an interesting, like, I don't know. I think that should be the main takeaway from almost anything about this. Private servers. It is, but how much games change, how much the game changes, it could be possible to create a sister version going forward when the game gets sunset. Yeah, exactly, but I don't know, it's just like, personally, people like, if I was going to lose a game that I had thousands of hours in, World of Warcraft, stuff like that, like, if that server died, I would feel a little sad. Like, if I was no longer given, like, that was also another thing about this campaign, right? The campaign itself was talking about how on Steam you don't actually earn any of the licenses. You don't earn the game. You earn a license to play the game, which is kind of a bit messed up in some ways. Like, I got like how many games on there, and they don't earn them. Like, but yeah, no. Like, again, we're not focused on that. We're focused on a guy complaining about it. Why are we not trying to figure out what, like, having a like, we're not having. I'm not seeing people actually have dialogues. Why have Peter Griffin there? Like, having a conversation with the movement in question, trying to figure out how, going forward, what can you actually do to make it, like, better for making these games better? Like, not making these games better, making it so that it's easier for developers to sort of, like, having an actual discussion. This, like, for example, this is going to go in front of Parliament. There is enough signatures now to go in front of Parliament in the UK government, or even the EU government. But we don't really have much, like, we're too focused on the pirate software thing to sort of have an actual discussion on what is going on, like what we could be doing, like what could I actually be talking about. I feel like I'm naffing this up. I just really want to talk about it because it's kind of sad how drama hungry everyone is, that there isn't a discussion talking about the actual thing that's going on. And I just really want to talk about it. I really do. What's the good news for this, though? Where is the good news for this? I don't know why I have Mango here. But no, like I said, I'm an idiot. I'm not exactly the best at explaining technical boundaries. I'm scared to know what's going to happen here. This, like, look at this. Like, we're not focusing on the actual thing itself, though. Like, let's stop making memes about pirate software for a minute, and actually, thanks for explaining. Well, thanks for explaining it without pirate software. Well, that's what I mean. Look at all this. This is talking about stop killing games, and we're making it just a joke about pirate software. Let's stop doing that. I think it's just kind of. I get it. I get it. He's a punching bag. But let's just talk about the actual reasons behind it. Like, let's talk about the actual. Let's talk about this celebration. It passes 1,000,000 signatures. That is a celebration. Right? Stop killing games. Passes 1,000,000 signatures. We don't need the pirate software. Pirate software is indicative of the success of what is going on with Stop Killing Games. It should be divorced from it. Quite frankly, it should be just about the initiative rather than the memes at this point. Horror possibly is one of the genres that has been affected by the lack of game preservation. I 100% agree with this tweet, by the way. Hey DMJ. Like, I absolutely agree with this tweet. I absolutely love Hunting Grounds. Like, you have no idea. Like, I absolutely love some of these games. I can't remember what this is called. It's Rose. I think it's Rose something or another. It's got Rose in its name. And this it's a Japanese game. I remember that much. The basic idea is, I've forgotten what this is called, but I genuinely miss games like this. Like, I genuinely do. I've said in the past, one of the things that I really want to see Capcom do, because Capcom has done such an amazing job with Street Fighter. They have done an amazing job with Street Fighter preservation. I want them to make a horror game collections. I genuinely want them to make a horror game collection. Forget about the Resident Evil license for a few seconds. Talk about things like Hunting Ground. Talk about things like the original games for Resident Evil, like the original Resident Evil 1, 2, 3. Like, I would really love to see the janky PS1 games get ported as a big sort of horror collection from Capcom. Because, regardless of what you think about the fighting game collection, the arcade collection, stuff like that, they have sold pretty well and they've done a good job. Not to mention, the idea of a fighting game collection is heavily stressed about the idea of rollback netcode. You will be able to make a horror game without, like, you will be able to make these collections without worrying about rollback netcode. You don't need to worry about that. Not many horror junkies will be caring about if the game is going to be online or not. You just need to put it so that the game is functional. I'm going to have to talk about fighting games later on, but I just wanted to make my sort of stance on this thing clear. I agree with the idea of stop killing games. I agree with the initiative. I just disagree with the fact that we're now making pirate software a meme just because he went against the grain. I don't like what he said, but I don't think he's the main focal point of what the initiative's about. The initiative should be about what it is about. It's not making pirate software like a meme and focusing on the clicks. Let's just talk about the games that we want to see saved from this. That's actually something I want to see. What games do you want to see saved from this? Because I know the entire point was to get crew back online. Like, to get crew functioning. And what games do people actually want to see be saved from this? Because I can think of a few. Anyways. Oh, yeah. No, this is actually on the docket, but I couldn't find it. EA shuts down Anthem servers. Players will not be issued a refund, and the game will no longer be playable after July 12th, 2026. Like, if this is sort of like a good time to sort of like that would be perfect for a private server. Like, just a private server where people can just hang out Heck, I can even think of another game that might suffer from this. Trackmania. Trackmania is almost exclusively online. It's an exclusively online game that developers will generally just focus, like, you focus mostly on the online tracks, and if you've designed a track with so much foliage or an incredible design, you're gonna lose that track forever if the game goes offline. Like, it's kind of sad in some ways. Anyways, let's move on to the more funny stories. Yeah, we've had School Days. School Days is getting remastered, and now we're getting a. I just find it really funny that we're gonna have a DLC of a bottle. Like, we're gonna have a DLC for a bottle. Like, that is just. That's just funny. I just think that's. I genuinely think that's just funny. Like, it's light-hearted, it's funny. Anyways, it brings on to the next topic that I want to talk about: fighting games. We're gonna talk about fighting games. I don't want to do it, but we're gonna talk about fighting games. We're gonna talk about fighting games. Gonna kill the mood. Okay, fucking Ram is officially gonna be announced soon. This is the wrong. This is the wrong one. The spaghetti rip. Everyone that I know of from this tweet has been memeing on this, so let's start off with this. I'm going to talk about the history of what this move is first. This is the most annoying move you'll ever see. Was the most annoying move ever conceived. So for anyone who doesn't know, this move was a high plus something on block launcher, and I think it tracked it too. I think it actually tracked, and that's not the move that we were expecting him to get. The move. People are more annoyed about this move though. Look at that range. Just look at that range. That is a full screen range from Brian. It's ridiculous. Like, that's just... He's just stretching his toes out there. He's just making it annoying. That's just an annoying perk. I don't know what else to say. Fucking Ram's gonna be annoying. I'm glad I quit Tekken. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this range. Because even if it's punishable, even if it could be launch punishable, I don't know a single person that could do that launch punish. I genuinely don't. I genuinely don't. Like, fucking Ram is going to be a nightmare just for this one move alone. It's probably going to be safe, if not minus safe, but yeah. Anyways, that's enough complaining about technical stuff about a game I don't want to play. There is actually a really funny article here about Tekken. There is a really funny article. Really funny article, because this is really funny. Apparently, Arslan Ash, you probably don't know who Arslan Ash is. He's one of the best Tekken players currently playing Tekken. Anyways, what's interesting about this is he was technically banned for let me see. He was the International Esports Federation, in its continuous commitment to blah 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 blah, making fair play. We already know the Gagan. Aslan, I am going to try that, who represents Pakistan, won Tekken 7 title for syndication for 2 years period, was eligible for testing for... Basically, he was doping, apparently. Apparently, he was doping. Now, what I don't understand is the drugs that are mentioned here, if I can try and pronounce them. I'm even going to try and pronounce them. That is an extremely long word. That's a long word. Anyways, these particular drugs were not reactive based stimulants. Because I want you to talk about this for a few seconds. Name one world where steroids or anything like that will actually help you play Tekken. A game all about reactions. Why would any sort of steroids even help you out with that? Like, I can't really think of a world where that would be a case. Coffee wouldn't even help you. It would just keep your energy up. So why on earth would this even matter? Like, I just found it really kind of stupid that there was ever sort of like, I get the idea of keeping the players healthy, but steroids wouldn't necessarily people playing the game win the game. It would just be reactionary. It's a reactionary thing. So it's kind of just one of those stories that's kind of, what was the point? Like, I get that it's anti-doping, but I just don't get it. Anyways, that's enough Tekken, I think. Please tell me I have enough Tekken. I've had enough Tekken. We're now going to go on to Guilty Gear. There is a reason why I want to talk about Guilty Gear. I want to talk about Guilty Gear. Lucy, Cyberpunk. Look at this. Oh. Cyberpunk. I just want to talk about this one because Cyberpunk has been really on the go recently. Cyberpunk is like one of these. Edge Runner Cyberpunk has been like, the best way I can put it is Cyberpunk is a game that personally I thought was fun. Not great, not bad, just fun. Cyberpunk though, Edge Runner, is a game that, is an anime I haven't watched just yet. Apparently it's getting a season 2, which I'm looking forward to, but I know nothing about. All I'm thinking here is, we're getting like a lot of Cyberpunk. The only thing I know about steroids I can think of having an effect of is VR. VR fighter. Well, steroids is a very weird. I don't understand how any type of steroids would even affect any type of gameplay. I genuinely do not understand why steroids. I get keeping it prohibited. I get it, but I don't understand how it would help. Like, I get the idea of keeping it fair play. I get that 100%. But even so, like, I don't get it. I will never get this. Anyways, I want to talk about Lucy. Apparently, she's going to have an official trailer at EVA 2025. EVA 2025 is very weird. EVA 2025 is weird. I have a bit of beef with EVA. I genuinely have a bit of beef with EVA. So I'm going to make a small rant here. EVA is no longer special, right? There was a point where EVA happened once or twice a year, and it was a big deal. Big deal. Us fighting game fanatics enjoyed watching our big, what's the correct word? Fighters. We saw our we got to see these professional fighters fight twice a year at a big tournament, going for the best in the world. Right? Las Vegas, EVO Japan, now EVO France. There is three events where people are going to be considered to be the best in the world if they win this. I'm excited for EVO France, but that doesn't mean I don't think EVO has lost its sort of magic, because we've kind of oversaturated. I get the point. You want it to be sort of around the world. You want it to be like a WrestleMania. Yes. But it's like, why does it need to be called Eva? Why can't it be called something completely different? Like, can't we have it as like I don't know, like it's just something different. Eva used to feel special. Eva Japan felt special. Now Eva France feels like an addition, right? It doesn't feel like its own identity. It feels like, oh, we're just gonna add Eva in the EU region. Like, I'm gonna retake that one. It just makes it feel like that you're going for Eva in the EU region, and it's just not like, it's not as magical. Like Japan is sort of like magical. France is France. Maybe because I'm partially. Maybe it's because I'm more European than anything. Like maybe like, I'm in the sort of European mindset. I'm used to French. I'm not used to Japan. I'm not used to Los Angeles, like America. I mean, I tell a lie, I'm used to America, but you know what I mean? Like, the sort of like that mysticism from Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and Evo Japan. Like, there is sort of like that mysticism there. It's no longer there with Evo France. I'm sorry. I love the French, but I just miss the days where Evo happened twice a year. Even once a year was good. But now it's, I don't know. It's gone. I'm happy for Evo that it's moving on from just one tournament a year to multiple. I just wish, I just wanted it to be special. Anyways, the reason why I wanted to talk about this was not to rant about Evo, even though that was partially what I wanted to talk about. The reason why is kind of, it goes on to the other part of what I wanted to talk about, which actually is Lucy. I am genuinely looking forward to this character. Mostly because it's one of these things with Arc System games. If you've ever played Dragon Ball Z Fighters, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, I think it is, they do really good work when it comes to sort of like dealing with anime-based fighters. They do really good work in sort of making their skills and abilities translate over into their fighting games. And quite frankly, I don't know. It gives me an excuse to watch Blade Edge. Is it called? Cyberpunk Blade Edge, I think it is. It gives me a chance to watch it, and quite frankly, I'm going to enjoy this. Look at Lucy and think, ah, yeah, what the heck is she going to be doing in Guilty Gear? Because I'm just going to enjoy that. I genuinely am looking forward to seeing what she. It gives me an excuse. What is this? 4th of 7th. Well, that was the 4th of the 7th. Yeah, that was. Yeah. Where's this? But no, that's my sort of rant with that. We'll get. Oh yeah. So there is this sort of. Yeah, technically, the stance is very similar to Android 21, which yeah, that could be interesting. That's the rant about Eva. What are people saying about season 1 of Edge Runner? That's the name of the show, Edge Runner. Season 1 is great. I love Lucy. I love season 1 of Edge Runner. Season 1 is great. Personally, I think it should stay as season 1. Kind of scared of what season 2 will, because scared of season 2 because it was so good as a standalone series. Well, we're going to be talking about anime soon. We're getting past some of the sort of like nerdy stuff, like stop killing games and stuff like that. We're now going to be talking about things like we're going to be talking about anime soon. So, we actually have an entire section on card games. I don't think anyone will be interested if I talk about Hack. Eva, I've already talked about. Eva. Let's talk about Yu-Gi-Oh. Malice was unleashed yesterday. Now, for anyone who don't know what Malice is, it's currently tier 0 in the paper game of paper. That gave me a jump scare. Basically, Malice is a deck based around Alice in Wonderland? I think it's Alice in Wonderland. Anyways, the entire point of the deck is it's tier 0 currently in TCG. Now, yes, it's a very pretty archetype. It's a very lovely looking archetype. However, this is the however, oh, I'm pouting again. But it's true, I should be pouting for this one. This is a Malice deck. This takes what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 you are dusts. Like 15 times 3. Should have done the maths. I can't really do that one. 15 times 3. Wait, what? Oh, wait, times 10. The total number of dust you need to get an entire deck list of Malice is 4,500. I am not even too sure that's correct. It could be correct, I'm pretty sure it is. 15 times 300. 15 times 300. Wait, no, it's 100. It takes a lot of UR dust to get this deck even to function. I myself have actually got majority of these cards unlocked. Believe it or not, I got very lucky and have the majority of the deck unlocked apart from the field spell. And I'm going to say this, Malice is a confusing deck. It is genuinely quite confusing. I do not understand what is going on and I just want to play White Forest. But I am enjoying the idea of the archetype, so I will be trying to pick up the rest of the collection. Good day, sir. I am no longer going to be playing your game. We are now playing tier 0 Malice format here. Alice in Wonderland sounds cool. It is cool. Okay, I will actually talk. Okay, I will go into what my channel is actually kind of known for now, and that's game mechanics. 45. Yeah, I don't actually know. The point is, it takes a lot of UR dust to get, and you're not getting 4,500 UR dust without cracking open Mr. Wallet. Now, the Alice in Wonderland theme. I actually really like the design of Malice because the way that the cards actually function is they go to the banishment. Now, that is such an interesting concept because we think the banishment in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the be-all, end-all for any card. It turns out, no, now the graveyard is now a second hand, the banishment is a third hand. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Somehow managed to do it. They made the banishment a third hand. But it actually makes thematical sense for Alice in Wonderland. The idea is you send them to the banishment, which is Alice in Wonderland, and you summon them from the banishment. It's such an interesting concept. Granted, it's tier 0. It's tier 0. It's broken. It doesn't work. It doesn't function. Well, okay. It's broken. The actual cards themselves are broken. But I like the design idea. The idea is just to send it off into the card game. Oh, yes, I can remember how hard it can be to get. Yeah. I'm trying for the full engine. I know for a fact I'm not going to get it. Nah, I'm not cracking open that many UR dusts. And I don't see the... Like, I want to play the deck at full power, but I'm not really going to be, like, cracking up too much. I'm not going to be crying in my sleep because I can't play a tier 0 deck. The fact is, I've played like White Forest. That was a tier 1 deck, but I played Unchained, which is tier 3. I played Unchained. Be more precise. I played Unchained, Labyrinth, DDD, and what was the other deck I played? Evil Twins. I've played all of them, and I have more fun with them decks. Granted, I do have fun with the Malice cards. I just don't see the cards to actually have fun with them, nor to learn lines with the deck. But I don't know, like, I like the deck concept-wise, but it's either and or for me. It's one of these ones where I can live or live without it. I'm looking forward to try and get the cards, but it's not my big sort of wants or desires. That being said, though, it is actually quite an interesting deck concept. I do like the concept by itself. What's this one? Shadowverse. Shadowverse surpassed 2 million downloads. Now, I've written about this on Twitter a lot. I do not understand why this game gets hit. I do not get it. I genuinely don't. One of the few things about this game that I absolutely love, I will get my tweet up, it's actually the pack. It's genuinely just the pack. Hold up, I'll get my tweet up with it. Like, I'll get my tweet up about it because it's kind of insane that this game gets so much hate when the game is this well, like, following. Because naturally I follow myself on my incognito account. Why wouldn't I? Like, why wouldn't I follow myself in my incognito account? It's my account. Where's my tweet on it? It's gonna take a while because I'm a Twitter head. I tweet way too much. Hence the reason for this series. Aha. Call back. Where are ya? Where are ya? Where are ya? You're not there. Oh, that's the ghost. Do you hear that? Where are ya? Where are ya? Memes, memes, memes. This genuinely confused me because this is a free-to-play game, and you've got yourself this. Like, you've got your... Look at this. Look at this. This is a free-to-play game for a card game. A free-to-play card game. Like, I don't get it. I don't get the hate. I genuinely don't get the hate for this game because... Hold up. Do I have the footage? Someone I wanted to ask. Someone asked me about this. This is the game, like, this is not even the main primary game. This is, like, a small open world where, well, it's literally called a park mode, but it's like, look at it. We're seeing live gameplay footage of the game. We're able to wander around. We're able to wander around finding people to fight. Compared to Master Duel, this is incredible. Like, it's incredible. Oh, I have my own little personal lounge area that I can invite people. I don't get the hate. And I get, okay, the reason why people hate on the game is relatively stupid in my opinion. The only reason why people hate the game is you have to get a free of to then liquefy the card, your cards. 100% get the reason why that's annoying. I get that. I 100% get why that's annoying. But think about this in like the grand scheme of things. You have a massive game, a game where not a massive game. You have a game that is this well sort of thought out. The lobby by itself should be praiseworthy. You have functions like in-game messenger. You have voice chat. You have tournaments. I don't understand this, right? Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, yes, they happen all the time. Master Duel tournaments, not so much. They are complex. They are somewhat detrimental to the players' mental health wise, because what they say is you gotta get points to end to go to a tournament. That's the problem with Master Duel by itself. You don't really have that many tournaments. You have to earn points to get to a tournament. This, you just have tournaments every week. I don't get the hit. I don't get the hit. Okay, that might be misleading. You might not get it every week, but they have a built-in tournament mode. Like, it's not as sort of toxic as Yu-Gi-Oh's tournament mode. So, or rather, it's not even a tournament mode, is it? It's like, what is it? It's like I just don't get the hit. I get the hit. I'm gonna open my free packs every day, so that eventually, when I do play it again, I have a full, an actual decent deck, because my deck is awful at the current moment. Shadow S. Next off, I found this very interesting, because it's going to lead into our next point. Digimon. This is the hobby channel rankings. Now, interestingly, Magic obviously going to be top. We then have Pokemon. Yu-Gi-Oh is next. One Piece card game. Lacran? I don't actually know how to pronounce that. Star Wars Unlimited, Digimon. I even going to try and pronounce that. Flesh and Blood and Dragon Ball card game. The reason why I'm bringing this up is the sheer amount of things that's happening with Digimon over the last week has been quite insane. So let's talk about the card game. The card game is literally going to be another gotcha game. The card game is literally going to be like another gotcha game. Again, pretty good UI. Probably going to be for both the probably for mobile and PC. I think even this might be the same status. Yeah, it's even getting Need You Sam, which again I'm contractually obligated to talk about anything that's involving VTubers, so I have to talk about this story. Forget about the fact that I actually like Digimon. I'm contractually obligated to talk about this because Niji Sama is going to be part of it. What else? What is this? Oh yeah, this is the same one. What is this? What is this going on? That's Niji Sama. Undo. Fact of the matter is, like, you can already see, like, Digimon has had a really, like, it's been odd because they've been doing a lot of things in this last week alone. They've had the card game explode. Well, not explode. The explode was the wrong word. It's being noticed. It's actually being worked on for once, which, as someone who's played the Digimon card game, it's nice to know that they're actually finally supporting the product. Like, it's no longer just a dead horse. What is this? I think this was shown an hour before I went on. Oh, this is, yeah, the same thing. They're actually making a new anime, which I was not really aware of. Beat Breaker? And for once, the main character is not wearing goggles. I find that quite kind of insulting, though. That is quite insulting that the main character does not wear goggles. Main character should always wear goggles in Digimon. Anyways, this moves us swiftly on to the anime section of this. Because guess what? I've talked about games for the past hour and a half. Jesus Christ, this is only meant to be like 2 hours. We're going to now talk about some anime, because I'm an anime fanatic. The official Edge Runner 2 Cyberpunk Edge Runner 2, we already talked about this earlier, so I'm going to have to sort of edit this portion into the other one. Basically, Edge Runner 2, I'm excited to watch it again. Well, not watch it again, watch it for the first time. I have no clue what even Edge Runner is about. I'm just looking forward to it because I don't know. I like Cyberpunk. It's a fun game. It's not the worst game I've ever seen. Even when it was really glitchy and it felt like you were being lied to about the multiplayer, I still thought the game was fine. I thought it was fine. It wasn't perfect, but the game was fine. Oh, what is this? Demon Slayer getting this one up. Theaters September 12. I don't remember where I left off with Demon Slayer. Actually, I got to the part where I think I was at season 2. After that, I don't actually remember. But visually, I've seen this place all over the place. It looks fun. Fire. It looks nice. It's genuinely, if this is modern day animation, is just incredible. Now, I'm not the best at animation. I just want to talk about these subjects. I actually don't know what I want to do with anime with this, because I do want to talk about anime. Maybe I need a dedicated co-host to talk about anime. Oh, this was an interesting bit of trivia. Pokemon the first movie is now free to watch on YouTube. Yeah. Pokemon the animated movie. Edge Runner made me cry. Well, I don't really cry that often over anime. I don't actually know why, because I just watched the entire Game of Thrones and didn't cry once. Granted, I was more, what was it like? I was in suspense, but it was fine. Game of Thrones was fine, but I've never watched Edge Runner. The only reason why I've never watched it is, honestly, Netflix kind of put me off. It's one of these things where you sort of see marriage to a company, and it's like, do I really want to pay a Netflix subscription for Edge Runner? Same thing for the Tekken series, by the way. I don't particularly want to watch that because I don't see the point. I already know what. Well, I do want one. I actually do want one thing about that story. I want to know why Leroy's there in Tekken 3. Why is Leroy there? I kind of want to know the story for that one. But I can understand about Netflix. I don't want to pay another subscription just to watch Edge Runner, and I'm willing to sort of give it a shot, but it's kind of one of these things where I don't know, it feels, I just don't want to pay for Netflix. I just don't want to pay for Netflix. That's really all that really matters. I don't want to pay for Netflix. Yeah, but I'm more than willing to give it a shot. Probably when season 2 drops. Pokemon the first movie. I try to find it. Oh, we do not talk about that on here. No. Just in case, we never know. I mean, I'm not that big of a VTuber, but Touch wood. Yeah, Pokemon the first animated movie is free to watch on YouTube. You know what? We'll risk it for a biscuit. Okay, it actually is. Wow. Pokemon the animated movie is free to watch on YouTube. There you go. Comments are turned off. Made for YouTube kids. I know for a fact that. I mean, I get why. I've never. I get it. Is Pokemon now just gonna be free for like YouTube? Because what I've noticed is a weird trend in anime. By the way, generally speaking, most anime will no longer just make box sets. Actually, they never really did box sets. Now I'm thinking about it. Like they did do VHS stuff. I don't really want to get. I'm not dealing with Nintendo. You find with like you find with things like anime that's made for children or anime that's made for what's the correct word? Like generally these like Pokemon, your Yu-Gi-Ohs, your Digimon, they're all now free on YouTube. And I get why, because it stops accounts spoofing them. Like it stops accounts from what's the correct word? What am I looking for? It stops accounts from using the IP and making money. Like, I don't actually know what I'm trying to say. Like, I remember back in the day, you could watch the entirety of DBZ on a YouTube channel. They will eventually take down the YouTube channel, but they made it so that the entire, like, they just uploaded it like 15-minute segments for each episode. I remember that used to be a thing on YouTube. Back in today. But like, I don't know, like maybe just the new move for more children-based anime is just to put it as YouTube Kids and put it for free. Like it's more of like, I like that idea, like having an alternative. Like I keep saying like, that's gonna be a goal throughout these. I'm gonna stop saying like. But the idea seems to be like, someone punish me every time I say like. Anyways, the point really was, the idea seems to be make anime for children, put it on YouTube for free. That way you don't need to make a weird licensing fee for the actual company. I don't actually know why they do that. I just like the business market that they're doing for it now. Gigak is now making a anime. That's the thing I want to move on to. That was an awkward transition though. And I've seen the trailer. It doesn't look like an indie anime. Like it is an indie anime, but it's not an indie anime. It's way too good looking for an indie anime. It's the entire influence was based around I've forgotten the name of the song. But the influence was based around the song, a song, Sheltered. I think it was Shelter. And that was the entire motivation for this new anime. The thing is, the anime, it looks like really good. Like the animation looks really solid. I don't even know. Do I look? Oh, I liked it. Whatever. Hold up. Do I? I will get the trailer up for a visual. You got. Next step. I am gonna butcher this name. Hello. I'm gonna butcher this name. But hold on. I love the fact that you can just look at my YouTube and know what I'm watching. But like the anime it it doesn't look indie. It looks like a real film. I don't know if that's insulting or not. Is that insulting? It looks well, it looks really well animated. Like, it looks really well done. I don't want to show off too much of it. Go watch the actual clip. Venice Re Van Vanna Banana. I will find some sort of weird name. But no, I absolutely love this idea. I love the fact that Gigact is making a film. It's like, there is one constellation for this. A constellation? There is one issue with this. He used to be an anime reviewer, and that does mean he's going to be quite critical. Like, there's going to be a lot of people criticizing this anime just for the sheer fact that he used to be a critic. Even I'm thinking, like, how could you be critical of the guy who used to be a critique of the anime? Like, it's an interesting dynamic right there. It's interesting right there. Oshi. Oh yeah, Oshi's getting a new series. The only one personally I know who cares about this one is me, but I'm looking forward to it. I liked Oshi. Oshi was fine. Oshi no Ko was fine. It was a fine series. Admittedly, I've had it spoiled for me on Twitter, which is the problem. I'm on Twitter too much, but this show has now been spoiled for me on Twitter, and yeah. What else? Now we're getting swiftly onto the actual things that are actually human-based, but we do have one more thing that I was actually curious about. I noticed, well, not saw online. Kyoani. Basically, newly drawn illustration with a draw and engaging illustration. Where the characters are all joyful and engaged, and basically these are all, from what I understand, Kyoto Animation stuff, if I remember correctly. Anyways, I believe these are all Kyoto Animation. Kyoto Animation. I could be wrong here. Kyoto Anime. Kyoto Animation. I think they're all Kyoto. No, they can't be all Kyoto. They're all Kyoto? These are all Kyoto, right? I'm going off the assumption that they all are all Kyoto. And the one thing I've kind of noticed here is, why is there no Haruhi? Why is there no no Keion? Like, I kind of just miss the old days. Like, I kind of miss the Haruhis, the Keion, the mid 2000s. The Clanad, the Full Metal Panic. Like, I know there's not, like, it's one room, but you know, I believe so. Yeah. Well, I kind of made a kind of a small issue. So, if you look where I'm covering, hold up. Studio mode. Oh, no, not the thing I wanted. Yeah, it says Kyoto Animations there. So, yeah, it's, these are all Kyoto Animations. But no, I kind of miss, like, I just really want, like, in a picture like this, I really would have loved to see something like Haruhi, like, or something like that, because, I just kind of miss the old faces, you know? Squid Games, what's this one first, though? Running Man, don't really care. Lol. Discuss films. Wait a second. Demon Hunter. K-pop Demon Hunter. So, this was really quite interesting. I want to talk about this for a few minutes. K-pop Demon Hunter. It's such a weird concept. I again haven't watched it. I want to talk more about the concept of what's been going on with K-pop Demon Hunter. rather talk about K-pop in general. This is gonna get weeby for a few seconds, but please indulge me. Hey, have you heard about the AI generated anime? I have seen a lot of AI generated anime. I don't really know if I'm going to cover it right now because it was just random stuff I found this week. It's ironically how much you can find in 1 week, though. Like, a lot you can find in 1 week. But I wanted to talk about this in particular. K-pop in general has sort of like evolved from this really niche concept that, like, my sister was, I'm gonna give my credit to my sister, has been infatuated with K-pop ever since she was in secondary school, which is the age of 16. Like, ever since, like, she was a child, she's listened to this, and it's sort of weird. I've heard from her, she's shown this sort of weird development of what K-pop used to be and what K-pop is now. It's such a weird transition. Because K-pop used to be really weird, and I've listened to some of the earlier stuff. Things like DBSK back in the day. Like, I've heard some of the K-pop stuff from, like, old school Shiny. Like, I've heard, like, the transition. She showed me the transition, and it's so weird that we've gone from they've gone from a niche subgenre that nobody's ever heard of to now doing 16 million, like, in 5 days. A soundtrack of a semi-anime, a 3D anime, is now doing 16 million, like, listens on Spotify in 5 days. That is a massive bounce from the niche days of what K-pop used to do. Because K-pop used to be really, like, it really was niche. Ever since, like, Gangnam Style made it sort of like mainstream, BTS made it so to the point where Americans knew about K-pop. They finally hit the American industry. And it's weird that I'm talking about this here because I'm not my sister. My sister talks about this all the time. But ever since the sort of, like, the change has shifted, we got things like Squid Games. We got things like, we're getting sort of like more of a Korean mainstream understanding of the media. Where to the point where we're getting lists dedicated for films automatically talking about, like, what was I talking about? Well, they're automatically, like, they're getting a lot more mainstream appeal. Parasite, that was the word I was thinking of. So, to the point where Parasite, a indie film from, I think it's indie. That one I could be wrong about. But to the point where Parasite is now being nominated for Best Pictures, and people are getting annoyed by it. Like, that is quite an insane leap from the last decade or so. Something that's, like, don't get me wrong, the music has changed a lot from more of a Korean base than into more of an American base. But there's sort of, like, there's some sort of synergistic changes, because now American music is more, is getting more along the lines of the Korean stuff, and it's weird how that change has happened. It's just weird. And I just remembered I have not talked about another thing today. But yeah, like, that's all I really want to talk about when it comes to sort of Korean, like, stuff like that. The Boys finished productions. That's no. We'll get to that later. That's the watch stuff. We'll go on to Squid Games now. Enough Pokemon. Squid Games is the #1 show in the world, making history as the first Netflix series to debut at #1 in every country. Again, like I was saying, Korea is just taking over the market, and it's quite an interesting transition. It's honestly quite interesting, from this niche that my sister used to love to now everyone actually freaking out about Korean dramas. Like, I remember watching Sisyphus. this weird law drama that me and my sister had. There was what like Rooftop Prince. I think that's actually Japanese, but there were so many like weird niche genre, like Korean dramas are now getting to the point where they're mainstream, and I'm quite interested in to see like where this progresses, because there is a lot of hidden gems before things like Squid Game became popular. There is actually some really good stuff out there. There is also some trash stuff, don't get me wrong. Luca, I've heard season 3 is bad. I don't really want to think about it being bad or good. I just want to talk about it. We're not here to talk about bad stuff, we're here to talk about things and stuff, and I need water. Oh, that felt good. I need water breaks every now and then. But no, I'm genuinely looking forward to like seeing where Korea changes from. Like from this niche, this underground niche, to now the mainstream that's now hitting #1 in the shows. I can't wait for that. I can't wait to see what people are going to see from now. What is this? What is this, Demon Hunter? Yeah, I've already talked about Demon Hunter, I've talked about Korea. Now we're going to go to the good old US of America. Oh, we're going to the US of America. Boys final season is wrapped up filming. I'm a big Boys fan, and I am quite sad to see this series go, because, quite frankly, I've enjoyed every second of it. It's been hit or miss here and there. It's not been perfect, but I've enjoyed it. Like I've genuinely enjoyed this show quite a lot. Yeah, I've just enjoyed it. I've genuinely just enjoyed watching this show. Like, it's been a great sort of like pastime, like just to put on in the background whilst I do something. Like, I've enjoyed it. I'm going to be sad when it's gone. Yeah, that's really all I want to talk about when it comes to sort of like film and TV. Like, I'm quite sad that the Boys is gone, but I'll move on to something different. I'll move on to something different. Anyways, I just realized something I did not talk about. One of the things that this entire it's the thumbnail. I haven't talked about this. I really want to talk about this. I'm going to talk about the Subway Slammer, because I was originally going to talk about this in games, but I'm going to talk about the Subway Slammer. This is taken over the internet. For like, my Twitter page has been nothing but the internet slammer. So this is the Subway Slammer. Now, context: Persona 5 is one of the most dark, like, Persona games are generally dark. From suicide to, sorry, not suicide, we won't say suicide, from self-ending harakiri to as you can see on screen. I will not say anything else. But now we have the most evil individual found on the internet. The Subway Slammer. This is not the Subway Slammer. He is. He's the Subway Slammer. Oh boy, look at him go. He's slamming. And the worst part is he will not take accountability. Worst part is he will not take accountability. Anyways, I really want to talk about the Subway Slammer because the dude has been all over my timeline for the past 2 weeks. Hold up. Subway Slammer. He has been on my timeline for a couple of weeks now. And it is just funny every time I see it. Like, he's just everywhere. Like, he's just everywhere. I've been seeing all these... I've just been seeing all these tweets. They're all standing in... why are they all standing in the subway? Why are they standing in the optimal subway? Why are they all in optimal subway slammer range? Are they all stupid? Yes, they are. Look at this. The genius of Isaac. The writing of Eren. The aura of Sukune. The pettiness of Dio. Pettiness of Dio. The subway slammer. This guy, it's been a phenomenon on my Twitter. It's been everywhere. Joker, did we beat the subway slammer? That was just his sidekick. The train trollop. Like, it's such a... Oh. We're having sound with this one. But no, this guy's been all over my timeline for the last week, and it's just been funnier every time I see him, because people are starting to realize the genius of this stupid character. Look at this. FGC are going nuts with it, because every character has some sort of arm dash. Oh, it's so insane. I've loved this. The only One Piece is the trading card that came in my mail. Okay. This is the subway slammer. The god. He is the best. Oh. The subway slammer. It's the subway slammer. Where is the one where he just disappears randomly? Oh, here it is. The dude just vanishes. He's now got powers. He is now a magician. He even has his own Twitter page. That has absolutely nothing to do with it. But oh yeah, no, the greatest villains. No. We do not care about this guy. Spoiler alert, by the way, for Persona. We do not care about the greatest villains. We only know the only best villain of them all, the subway slammer. Anyways, now I've got that out of the way. We can now talk about. VTubing. Now, I'm just going to use this one. I know this one's been this article's been around the place, but I want to talk about this one. Seba. It's kind of, I kind of have to, again, I'm a VTuber. I have to sort of I'm contractually obligated to talk about Seba. VTuber once known as Gura reveals a new character, Seba, and I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of cute. I don't particularly like the Lolita genre. In fact, I'll go even further to say this. I despise the Lolita genre. I think it's an interesting idea, and if you like them, sure, go ahead, have fun with the cute cheeks and all that. I've just never been really a fan of it. But I think these designs just really good. I absolutely adore this. It's such a nice thing to see someone transition from like something that's already very iconic to now like just this. Like it's been I understand like there was some sort of like drama with the company and stuff like that. I don't care. The new model looks like really cool, and I don't watch live streamers. It's a weird thing now. I just can't do it anymore. I've gotten to the point where I feel I've gotten to the point where I just can't really do the live stream stuff. I can't do the chatting just anymore. I just can't do it. But I will say the design for this model is like, hold up. This is the credits. This is one of the designers, but like I just think this model in particular is just really well made, and I think all these. I'm gonna shift myself out of the way here for a few seconds. Actually, why would I do that? I can just hide. Hold up. I just genuinely think that these people deserve a lot more credit. Like they've done a lot of work for this. Wait a second. There we go. Yeah, they've done a lot of work for this. Like the model looks incredible, and yeah, I can't wait to see what the internet's going to do with this model. In matter of fact, I'm quite terrified. I am very much terrified of what they're going to do with this model because it's already past 1 million subs. I mean, here we are talking about it, so it's at least worth it. Oh, I want to talk about this. What's this? Oh, we got more of this. We got an actual. We actually did do some research into some tweets. Debut in the tummy. What else do we have here? Now, I'm coming towards the end here. We've talked about some VTubers. I admittedly wanted to talk about more about VTubers because I do want the end to be more a shout out to some random VTubing stuff. Because guess what? I do VTubing, so I want to support some of my own. I want to talk about this. I was going to show this to Zep a little later. I found this to be really cool. Not because it's just hands. But for anyone who didn't know, I did learn how to draw at one point. I never really got good at it. I never really got too good into it. But artists always struggle with hands. Internet is a very dangerous place. It is a very dangerous place. I've always struggled with hands. They are very expressive. But this, look at this. Like, look at this. This is just really going to be really useful for digital artists or even regular artists just to get a sort of more of a understanding of the anatomy. I know for a fact I'm going to send this to Zep today, probably after I finish streaming. But yeah, I just can't wait to. I genuinely think this is a pretty good thing for artists. I'm not going to say too much. I don't know anything about the product itself. I just saw it and thought, hey, I'll give this. I'll just go put it out here just because I think it's. I don't know. I think it's just good publicity. Give me a ban hammer. Oh yeah, Parrot. That's not Parrot software. Oh, that's something completely different. That's talking about something else. Cheese. Oh, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. McDonald's. McDonald's, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing in Japan? What are they doing in Japan? This is the weirdest edit or even AI thing. I don't care what it is. They literally just changed the lyric using AI to make them hold a burger. Even if this could be very well edited, it sounds like AI at the end, but like this is just really weird. Like the way the mouth moves, kind of, you don't get lip sync like that. From like editing like a lip sync like that would take donkeys. Like that sounds auto-tuned right there. That's the only reason why I think it's sort of like AI. And even if it isn't, it's like, I don't know, it's just really, really weird. I'm even going to try and think what they're saying in Japanese. It's just a very weird video that was on my timeline for no other reason other than, yeah, it was, what's this? A deadly fungus of the Pharaoh's curse. Apparently, it kills cancerous leukemia cells in lab test. I mean, Pharaoh's now killing cancer. Dub over? Dub over. I wouldn't. Right. The problem, the only reason why I don't think it's a dub over is just this last part. It sounds too pitch perfect, does that? It sounds really janked, does that? I don't know, it just feels weird. There's a weird vibe to it. It's just weird. The video is just really jank. I think it's just one of those things that's going to be the song itself haunts my every existence. So yeah, the fact they're now saying double cheese is slightly gonna haunt my existence. Oh, it's strange. Let's get some strange stuff here with Scooby-Doo. Alabama police search for a suspicious robber, a robber of a convenience store while dressed as a Scooby-Doo. Hello, Brie. I did not expect to see you here, especially during the Scooby-Doo article. So if you've seen this robber, make sure he's not. Just lure him out with a couple of Scooby snacks, okay? Give him some Scooby snacks, and he'll be happy. What else we got? This is sort of like the niche stuff. We've already talked about the main stuff. YouTube cracking down on its own original content with a majority of the monetization changes. Yeah. Unoriginal content has already been ineligible for monetization for a long time. This is just, yeah, it's improving on the content. So the idea is to sort of improve on it, but I don't even know why I saw it. I saw it this morning and I just thought, hey, this is going to be like a good sort of like resting period for me to just talk about. What's this, dude? I just found this has got nothing to do with anything. I just thought Jake Paul was definitely rocking a sombrero. Like, he should wear a sombrero more often. Like, forget about Piers Morgan, forget about anything like that. Jake Paul needs to wear more sombreros. I think this is official. Like, this is his best look he's ever had. He's had some weird looks. He needs a sombrero on every time. He needs it on 24/7, 7 days a week. Scooby-Doo. The epic plot twist. The Scooby-Doo was the villain all along. Well, I think that is actually a much needed change. He needs to steal those Scooby snacks. Rashid? This is a fighting game thing, but I found it very funny. So we have here a wedding proposal. These people are veteran storm chasers, and they decided to propose during a tornado. And now people are saying Rashine's level 2. Now, if you've never seen Rasheen level 2, this is Rasheen level 2. And I just found this very funny. It gave me a chuckle. It gave me a sweet chuckle, did this. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. What else? Perfect Dark. It is funny for me. It gave me it made my day, did that. Like there's a sweet moment where we've got ourselves a twister incoming, and then people just talking about Rasheen. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Yeah. Anyways, Banhammer. Oh, this one, this always cheered me up. Like this cheered me up. Um, Context here is China launched the first humanoid robot soccer league. Correction here, can we get community notes? This is not a soccer league. This is a football. They're playing with their feet. But this just sort of like, look at this. No DMC here. But no, like, look at this. Like, this is just cute. They're going to the land of Oz. Like, look at this. I just found this to be... I don't know. Howdy. I just found this to be really cute. Like, I just wanted to... Like, this just looks... I don't know, this was adorable. I just wanted to share some joy just before, like, we wrap up. Like, look at this, stupid. Like, look at them. They're going to kick it out of bounds. I don't know, they're going to do a throw-in with that. Hey, Gerard, quit slipping. We need colour. Oh, Slippy G. Slippy G. That's not a penalty, though, mate. Get back up. You're not faking your way out of this one. Oh, that's just... Offside, mate. That was offside. You were offside. Nah. Oh, good news. Brielle was this. I found this article. Well, not article. Gamer Outreach. Made $545 plus raised. That is insane. That's just over half a million. That was insane. So congratulations to everyone involved in that. That was that was it's incredible what a bit of charity gets, like how far a bit will go, and it was just really like I'm scared to scroll down, and yet I am. But no, 25 half a mil, pretty nice. It was I did not participate, mostly because I don't stream. But I did want to reach it because I do know people who did do the streams, and they actually should really be proud because half a mil is like insane, like really should. We've done the weird story. We've done what else we got here? Everybody golf. I think we're almost done. Yeah, I think we're almost done. I think we talked about everything I actually wanted to talk about today. There was some stuff that I did want to talk about, but like, for example, Gate Season 2, but I think we're almost done. What the fuck of the week? There was one thing I do want to talk about, and that is Street Fighter movie. I guess we can end on this one. Okay, yeah, we'll end on this one. why are we ending? Why are we not ending on the positive charity thing? I just want to talk about this for a few seconds. So far, the live action cast for the new Street Fighter movie, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit of a weird casting, but I'm looking forward to it. That's really all I want to say about it. We have Roman Reigns, we have Cody Rhodes, Jason Momoa, 50 Cent, a bunch of other people I don't know. That's all I really want to talk about with that one. I wanted to bring it up earlier, but it's not really something that we need to talk about. No, I think that's all. Yeah, I think that's everything. Now, I normally would end on something involving VTuber, and I technically already did. This is just extra. But yeah, let's just go to just chatting for a bit and start wrapping up the stream. Okay. And yes, I do realise I was an idiot. I should really put you on the bottom right hand side. I was wondering if there was... oh, let me just get... Oh! I wonder if their personality would be consistent with the game. I have no clue. What up? I honestly don't know. Like, when it comes to sort of like more like when it comes to sort of like film adaptations, like it's always been hit or miss here and there. Like, it's never been perfect, but you know what? I'm gonna be enjoying just the casting of like 50 Cent as Balrog. Like, that by itself is gonna be really funny. So I have to actually ask this question because I kind of have to. What did people think about this type of stream? Should I do it more often, or is it something that is a blowout? Because I'm not gonna lie, I had a fun time with it. It lets me talk about whatever the heck I want, and you know, I didn't think it was like, it's just looking over stuff that I found this week. Like, I think it's kind of a fun concept that I don't know, like I can kind of enjoy. What are people's thoughts? What are people's thoughts? Should I do it more often, or should I not do it? Because I don't know. Because I think like it is the first time I had fun with it. Yeah. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm still kind of new to the idea of what I want. Like, I need punishing every time I say a like. I really do need punishing every time I say a like. So the thing that I realized until the end of the stream, like, or rather a few minutes before going live, I can actually use a Word document, put tabs on it, and make sure that I have notes about what I want to talk about. I didn't realize that until the end of till like Friday, and I kind of screwed up because essentially I got like to the point where I know what I need. Like, I need punishing every time I say like. I got to a point where I didn't want to, like, punish me every time I say like. But basically, I figured out near the end of the process of making a dossier for this, a docket for the stream, I could just put a tab on, put notes on for what I specifically want to bring up on a topic. For example, stop killing games. I really didn't want it to be about pirate software, because I think that's a stupid. I've already made my points clear for that one. The initiative should be based around the merits alone, rather than the memes of what someone said last year. I genuinely just think should be the case. So I could have gone more in depth with some of these topics later on, but I was an idiot and realised, yeah, I could actually do that now. And I got to admit, majority was talking about games, because my Twitter feed is full of games. I'm not gonna lie, it's full of games. It's a bit of a weird Twitter feed. The main reason I brought up games is because it's slightly more transformative than anime, because anime is surprisingly hard to talk about without showing examples. So there'll be definitely points where we talk more about about games. Like I said before, I really might need to find like a dedicated co-host who will be interested in making something like this with me, who's more interested in the anime side of it rather than the gaming side. Because I do like anime, I just don't know how to talk about it. Like, I really don't know how to talk about it. Like, I want to make more segments involving the mysteries, the more mysterious parts of the internet, like the weird stuff that pops up here and there. And I really do want to end more on a positive note. Like I said, I don't want this to be like a drama channel, or rather a drama stream. I want to go far away from that. I want to talk about more positive outlooks on subjects. Like, irregardless of if it gets me more clicks or anything like that. I will clickbait people with the thumbnail for the 15-minute segments of the stream, sure, but the overall content, I want it to be more based around a more positive outlook on what's been happening on Twitter, because Twitter is depressing. We can all agree on that. Twitter is downright depressing sometimes. I get some really fun, like, I see some really fun things, and we rarely see it highlighted. Like, we never see, like, the fun little things highlighted. And I think that's just, like, a little shame. Like, there are some really cool things that happen on Twitter, and we don't see it because we oversaturate ourselves with the negativity of what's actually going on Twitter. Like, World War II, 3, 4, someone's gonna call someone X, Y, and Z. No, let's put down our pitchforks for a second and talk about the fun things on there for once. There are fun things to talk about. There are some legit cool things that happen only on Twitter and on Reddit too. Like, there are some really cool things, and this might be just me being like a sort of like every cloud has a silver lining sort of shtick, but I genuinely just think people need a bit more positivity these days. I know it's not going to drive up audiences, but I personally just think people need it. I just think people need it. There is also a segment that I do want to do. Maybe before or at the end of every stream, I'm going to put out a tweet talking about what I should be talking about the next time. So there's going to be something like a catch-up corner, or I'm going to put out a tweet saying, hey, is there any sort of things you want me to talk about on the Too Long Didn't Week? Just because it makes my content, not makes my content, it's not technically my content, it makes it so that I can bring this up more. I want people's opinions, I genuinely do. I can come off sometimes like a prick sometimes, but I genuinely do like people. Even if I actively do say I don't like people. Nah, but I might do that. I might put at the end of the stream, is there anything people want me to talk about? And call it, what was it called? What did I call the segment? What do you call it? The Viewer's Mindscape. But I do want to do like more signal boostings to sort of like more lesser known Twitter users, streamers, stuff like that. Like, I genuinely just want to use a bit of positivity for this, you know. Yeah. Chat is oddly silent for my little rant. Anyways, we're officially at the 2 hour and a half mark. I gotta get going soon. What does anyone have any thoughts and opinions? We're not asking for nuanced takes. We're just asking for what should I or shouldn't do. Oh, or what do you want to see covered? Like, I genuinely just want to take some people's feedbacks. I genuinely do. Oh. I'm overheating here. I should have talked more about Samba, but I don't know, like, the internet's talking like way too much about Samba as is. Anyways, well, if there's no one's feedback, I might as well end the stream soon. I'll give it another 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. That sounds like a long time to me to get me to rant. Like, how can I rant for 5 minutes? I know I can do it. I just don't want to. Like, I know I can rant for 5 minutes, but do I want to? Really? Oh, anyways, I'm gonna die from heat over. Heat over? I'm gonna die of heat syncope. Now, I'm just gonna end it here, so I'm gonna say ja matane. Oh yeah, and next time chat will be on screen somewhere, because I kind of forgot to do that. So anyways, ja matane yo. Oh yeah.